Hello everybody, it's Brianne Kerr. This is the second time I've had to make this video because my computer died the first time, and I am a freestyle video maker. And I'm super bummed, so I'm going to try to remember everything that I said in my other video. Okay, this video today is about leadership, and it's about creating more leaders, which is how you get to Black status, okay? It's not, this job's not a solo job, and it's a beautiful thing, but what does an environment look like that is blooming more leaders? And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that and your leadership style. Um, you know, this is my first time with direct sales. And so prior to this, I didn't have any of that kind of experience. However, I did have experience with people, and I did have experience with empowering people and making people feel good. That is what I know, and that is where my passion is. And it's really funny, when I signed on with Unique, I didn't really know that that was going to be a really big asset for me, and I feel like it really has been. So I'm going to talk about that. What does that look like? What does that entail? And it might not be what you think it is. Um, I created my group page when I had my very first recruit, my very first sponsee, and it was my little sister. And it was mainly because the team that I signed on with and my sponsor, it's huge. She's amazing. It's huge. And it was almost so big that I wasn't able to personally connect, that information was getting lost. And I wanted for my sister all of the images and the stuff that I was finding to be collaborated into one place, so she didn't have to search as much. So that's why I created, right away I created my team page. And, that was also a place that as the team grew, we were able to keep everybody together and mastermind, and Team Awesome was born. And so, doesn't mean that when you have your first sponsee that you need to create your group. You can create your group whenever you're ready. And a lot of people will be like, oh, but then you're getting added to a million groups and my fourth generation. But hey, listen, it's okay. All right. The more support that your team has, the better. We all learn different. Somebody might be able to thrive in a certain group because they are just getting the information they want, and they've made really amazing relationships with people in their cross-line, upline, downline. Man, it doesn't matter. Teams have no boundaries, you guys. You want your team to get as much awesome support as possible, period. And so I encourage you. You are a leader, and I've talked to women that have a downline, but they don't have a group, and I kind of think they didn't even know that they were leaders, and that might be why. How come you're not, you're a leader? People sign with people, not with the product necessarily. They wanted what you had. They wanted to be a part of your team. So, I made a video a couple weeks ago about being accountable to that, and it's huge. So I'm not going to really get into that because I talked about that a couple weeks ago, being accountable to your team. You're an example. And I tell you what, through maybe hard times where I was feeling discouraged, knowing that I had my team's eyes, they're watching you, they're watching the way that you run your business, really motivates me, and it keeps me going. So you guys know how I run Team Awesome because you're a part of Team Awesome, but I'm just going to kind of talk about maybe specific things behind the scenes that I do that maybe you're not aware of I do on purpose. The first one is the interaction. I've talked with a lot of the other leaders in our company and not in our company, and a problem they might be having, they feel in their groups, is nobody's talking, right? Nobody's interacting. Those relationships with each other, which is invaluable, is not happening. And kind of like this is the same principle that I say with online parties. If nobody's posting, nobody's going to post. It's like high school dance. If nobody's out there dancing, everybody's too afraid to do it. So keeping conversation flowing and post flowing, questions asking, is really important. So one of the things that I do that maybe you guys don't know that I do on purpose is when a question gets asked, I don't answer it. I don't. Zip. You know why? Because I don't know all the answers. Maybe I do. I am one of those crazy research ladies where I joined Unique and I just like absorb everything like a sponge. Give me all the information. I'm like the Googleaholic, right? But hey, listen. We have 600, and currently it's growing every day. 675, 80, 685, I checked this morning, 685 women in Team Awesome in my company. And that's a lot of ideas, man. That is a lot of amazing, different personalities that have something to bring to the table. And when they do, we become stronger. And when they do, the relationships with the Y sisters are formed. Then they have roots in your team. They feel appreciated. They have new friendships. The love like blooms. And that's really, really important. You know, when somebody is having a really rough time and maybe they're questioning during the business and they feel like they aren't doing good, knowing that like, well, but I love to be a part of this team. Like it makes me feel good. I've created these relationships. Well, that kind of creates this accountability with each other. So back to not answering questions. When I don't answer a question, do you guys remember in school when the teacher would ask a question and you knew the answer and you raised your hand and you answered the question and you felt really amazing because you know the question, like you felt important, you felt smart, you felt useful? Those are all empowering feelings that blossom leaders. Okay, so I don't answer the questions. And also what happens is it's keeping your group alive and they are forming relationships like, oh, this girl in my cross line, down line, up line, success line, it doesn't matter. We are all on the same team. We are all here to help each other. You know, success isn't something that you keep for yourself and you don't share with anybody else. You share it, you give it away, and when you give it away, it comes back to you. So it creates conversation. Relationships are being built. Women are starting to feel empowered by leaders when you don't answer the question. Okay, even if you know it. And then I'm also kind of not making it about me. I'm not like, oh, look at me, look at me. Like I'm the lead. I'm a leader. I don't need it to be about me. Arrows pointing out. We talked about this weekend. I just got back from Unified. Your arrows need to be pointing out. I don't need to be the center of attention. I don't need to constantly be having people tell me that I'm so awesome and I'm such an inspiration. I don't need that. Okay, because A, I know that. And B, I want you to feel like that. That is my priority. Because when more leaders are creating leaders who create leaders who create leaders, then you have a strong team. Then you get to black status, okay? So it's not about you. So, and I'm just talking about the way that I lead my team as the leader of Team Awesome. Then I'll go back and I'll look a couple hours later after it's been answered. And if I feel like I have something else to add that maybe nobody touched on, I'll add it. That's a beautiful thing. The conversation keeps flowing. I can't tell you, because of all the women on the team, how I get inspired. Like, women answer questions that I thought I know the answer to, but oh my gosh, your answer is 10 times better. I'm taking that and putting that in my toolbox, because it's not about me. It's about all of us. So that's, these are just some of the things that I do when I run Team Awesome that maybe you can take back in the way that you run your group. Just prefacing, this is just my little helpful tips. Also, you'll notice, like in the files, I don't have novels and novels and novels on how to exactly do things. Okay, I have I call it my little water troughs. Right, you lead a horse to water. Here is like where you can find this information. Here's resources that I found useful. Here's books I found useful. What happens if you don't put every single thing that you know and that you've learned and that you like? You are creating an environment where people have to ask questions. And again, the questions, it's important. Lots happen when people ask questions. And also, they're going to have to go searching for their answer. Right? They're going to have to, Googleaholic, go to Google, ask questions, On their journey to find the answer to their question, they're probably going to learn a whole lot of stuff looking for that question. And they're going to become more powerful. They are going to become stronger. You don't want to spoon feed your team, you guys. You don't want to do that. You want them to become strong and to learn things on their own. You can point them in the direction. People PM me all the time and I will answer their questions or what I think. But you want to create strong, and a lot of times that you have leaders before they know. Okay. And unfortunately, we kind of live in a world where self-confidence, and maybe we grew up not not inherently feeling like a leader, not that is not our personality. Well, my friends, it can be anybody's personality. Its traits of leadership is something that can be learned. Okay, and that starts with you empowering them and loving them and letting them know that yes, you are valuable and you have something to offer and you are a leader. I've talked to women who have like 10, 15, 20 people on their team who don't have a group page, who I don't even think realize that they're leaders, that women are looking up to you. Now, we join lots of groups. You know, when you get added to lots of groups. And I've heard some people like, oh, I'm adding to so many groups. Hey, listen, that is, 4, 3, 2, depending on where you're at, places where the women on your team can come to for information. And we're all different. So different things inspire us. So one person may be totally comfortable posting in one group, but for some reason, this group, I just don't jive with it for whatever reason. Doesn't mean it's bad. So you want your women to have access to as much friendships, knowledge, brains, and information as possible. You guys know that I'm a huge cheerleader. Like I am. I am. I make it a point to make sure that I welcome every single person to Team Awesome and that I post on every single promotion. It's so important. And you're like, oh, that's little. That's not how you create more leaders. You know what? It's really important. And it's something I have done since the day I signed up with Unique. When I was in Facebook Jail in January, I couldn't do that. And it killed me. Killed me. I mean, of anything, like not being able to welcome new people and to congratulate promotions was like so upsetting to me. So when women promote, especially to yellow, pink, and blue, you guys, like sometimes green and the hires, like that is really inspiring for women, but it's not reality. It still seems really out of reach. And so celebrating those promotions everywhere you can. Like, I don't care if you have to celebrate them in 4 different groups. You celebrate that accomplishment. That's doing several things. That is making the women, the woman who, first of all, worked really hard to get that promotion, that's letting her know that she's appreciated, that she is looked up to, that she is a leader. And it's also showing all of the women and all of the groups that, oh my gosh, women are promoting, women are changing their lives. This is big and it inspires them. And a lot of us are a little inherently competitive, which is awesome. Like it can work for us. A lot of times it's motivation. If she can do it, man, I can do it. So I know that because, you guys are born into Team Awesome, that you see me doing that, but I just want you to know there is a method to the madness. Like this is something that if I don't do anything as far as working my business, it's going through my page and welcoming everybody that's new, letting them and calling them by name. Something really amazing that you can do, and I'm talking about like within your team and within dealing with clients, is referring to people by their name. That lets them know that you are acknowledging them as a person, and I just I throw that in there. So I think that's it. I know I'm going to end this video, and there was things that I wanted to touch on that I didn't say. You are a leader. Your job is to create more leaders who create more leaders who create more leaders. Leadership and love and motivation leadership spawns from love. It is an empowering thing. Okay. This weekend they talked a lot about sheep herders and shepherds. A sheep herder is like running around trying to get all the sheep together, the dogs. Think about the dogs, the sheep herder dogs, right? Like running around trying to keep them all together to move. Shepherds, well, the shepherds just have to walk. The sheep follow the shepherds willingly. It's a calm, nice environment. It's strong. So you do that. You become a shepherd by walking the walk, you guys. I'm constantly working my business. And I'm working my business because I have ginormous goals that I'm going to get there, but I'm also doing it because I'm accountable to my team. There's a lot of eyeballs that are watching the way that I work my business, and I want them to be watching appropriate things. I want them to be inspired by my actions. And so if you are not working your business and you have a downline, I mean, I'm not going to get into this because I created a whole video all about this. You are, slowly killing your team. Like you need to be a leader. You can't just be like, well, I added them to this group and this is where all the information is and let another group do the work for you. No, 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 no. You need to show them this is how you succeed in this company. This is how you work your business. And above all else, you guys, it is not about you. Okay, it is about them. Arrows need to be pointing out and not pointing in. If you are, sometimes we like to be knowledgeable and we like to have all the answers, going back to the kid in class, like I like to have all the answers. Well, a leader allows other people to lead around them. You need to make sure that you are not so big with wanting to be the leader and the biggest and the best and the brightest that you're actually overshadowing the amazing women around you. I wouldn't be where I am at if I knew everything. I can tell you that much. Because you know what? I've got a slew of women around me who are better and smarter than I am. But they are with me. So that makes me that much better. Okay. So even if somebody signed on yesterday, they have valuable things to add to your team. Make sure your team page is an environment where women can speak out, where they can shine, where they know they are appreciated, valued, and where their ideas are utilized. It's a nurturing, amazing environment. So this video ended up being a lot longer than I thought, but I feel like it's really important information. Leaders, how do you create more leaders? If anybody has any specific questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm constantly learning. I go through and I look at how have these women and how have they bloomed and what happened because of that. And I can tell you what happened because of that is I did this, right? I'm here. My arms are out. I love you guys, but leadership comes from within. Okay, it doesn't come from having like all of the detailed documents and personality tests. Some of us are really into the details, and those that are gonna absolutely love those documents, but a lot of people aren't. So you just need to make sure it's an environment, a little garden that we nurture and we love, and leaders come from that. So this has been my experience. I'm learning how to be a leader every single day. So all right, you guys have a really good day. I'm sorry this video is so long.